I think we can go back to the commentary team. LD, it's all yours.
All right, folks, we're back. Xiaowei just missed his hook shot here, trying to find that third kill after the pause, but did not connect. So EG, they escaped with what's only 2 losses here in the end.
Yeah, but at the same time, LGD's BKBs are starting to go down real low. As Sylar, he's only got 7 seconds left on his BKB, and LGD have to expend so many ultimates just to kill 1 hero right now, and that's got to be a little bit of cause for concern for them.
That's where you really want this refresher on the silencer, it feels like. MMY up to 1,700 gold now, so he is closing in on the second Perseverance. Let's see, Xiaowei moving towards top. He's actually very close to Fear. Fear doesn't know it. Tries to find the opening, but hookshot's still cooling down for 10 seconds. He does have a 4-step, but can't really get it done alone. Maybe was thinking about a rotation. That Fear BKB is drawing nigh. As the analysts were discussing, this gives him a lot of freedom to get aggressive in these fights.
Yeah, and he can start to use the defusal on his teammates, I think, just to purge the global off, and you've got a lot of different options right now to deal with LGD's lineup, but...
Yeah, you've got the Greaves, the triple BKB. It's about to be... Well, actually, it is a triple now. And the defusal and Manta, as you mentioned. So they've got, what is that, 5 ways to purge it? That is... Not to mention maybe the Grave to save someone after the global wears off. So lots of potential here for EG to survive, along with the Snowball. Very strong defensive lineup if they can get their cooldowns off.
Yeah, and at the same time, Sumail, he's got that 10-second BKB still up in EG. They've got a lot of different advantages right now to work with. They might want to just wait for the next Aegis as it just does fade right now, but actually they go for the smoke. They want to get aggressive right now.
Let's see, where did EG head? They move down into the Radiant jungle. It's PPD, the man in front right now. Universe close behind with the Blink Dagger available. Perhaps just on a warding mission. They're dangerously close though to maybe. They get vision up the hill. They're going to start with the Walrus Punch, but Sumail wasn't quite ready for this, and now he's going to be punished by the counter hook shot. Look for AUI. He's got the BKB Black Hole, but he's trapped out for now. Global is already, well, not available for the fight, but it's going to cool down just in time. Maybe they can kill off more as DG continue to chase, and they will lose Universe. Feels like it could have been worse if that Global was ready though.
They're just struggling right now to initiate and actually start fights. Universe goes in, but they don't have any follow-up for him quite yet. The Cogs blocking them all, so they all have to run around, and Sumail having to use the BKB just to stay alive, and LGD get away with the lock there.
And I just keep on looking at MMY. The second Perseverance up, now up to 600 gold as he uses the Midas again. He is dangerously close to a double global, and it's also going to be a level 2 ultimate, closing in on level 3 here. Now, of course, you can't really use 2 in one fight with the mana cost, but you can just go back to well and have another to go. As there's a jump in, a bold move from Maybe. Looks like it may be punished. No, the global. MMY bails him out, and there is no follow-up, it appears. So he will make it out. Getting a bit over-aggressive there, but fortunately that's the veteran Momoya to keep him safe.
That is a global use, and I mean, EG seemed like they're perfectly content with dragging this out, but that's still 110 seconds where there's no real way to stop the black hole anymore, and LGD might get a little bit concerned because Sumail, he's marching forward down this mid lane. It does look like they want to start getting aggressive.
Slaving out the lane, just keeping the pressure going, and meanwhile in the top lane, Illusion's also threatening to keep Maybe back. Just pick up the play now, looks like he's going to be headed towards a Shiva's guard. EG, just their general positioning, Blitz, has gotten a lot more aggressive over the past 10 minutes or so. Normally in the enemy jungle, there's the hook though, trying to catch out PPD. Sumail's there, he 4 steps away. He's going to dodge the light sugar right now, throw it up in the air by the ult, they silence PPD. No backup for him as of yet, running out of mana Maybe, but they get the kill. LGD again striking. It's Pindy's hooks from Xiaowei doing so much work for the team.
Yeah, even that 4-staff escaping Sumail's stun, just making it difficult for him to help out. It's all of a sudden, Maybe's got so much farm. He's got a fully completed Shiva's guard. You've got the Bloodstone on him up to 12 charges.
He's getting pretty big. I mean, how do you see this going late? There is the PL of Fear getting very farm, but there's a double global. Maybe is getting his items. Do you think EG matches up well against LGD later on?
I think they do. They've got a lot of different ways to deal with the storm when it comes to the ultra late game. The gyrocopter might be a little bit of cause for concern for them. And like you said, probably the biggest thing is just that double global silence when your BKB start running thin. EG are a team that really heavily rely on spell usage. The only physical damage dealer they really have on their team anymore is Fear. And Sumail's largely had to build defensively this entire game.
They do have that Laguna for Sumail, and at this point it's well into level 3 territory here, so it's a lot of damage from him as well, but only a 1 target. Maybe may have 2 lives in these upcoming fights. See LGD reclaim control of their jungle. EG forced into a bit of a more defensive position now as they back off. They'll continue farming as well. PPD, he has picked up the gem here. See more wards coming out. They kind of back off. The next Roshan coming in about a minute and a half, so we could have a big fight brewing in the very near future.
I actually think that's what EG are deciding to wait for or look for. Going for the high ground against a Storm plus Earthshaker is a little bit too risky, especially when you've got the global silence backing you up. So if you're going to look for a fight outside of the base, the Aegis is a really safe one.
Now wait, he's the man in front again. He throws out a rocket. He's now got an Ags as well, so he can really toy with EG in these fights if they don't burst him off the bat. Prolonged them, and as the BKBs go down, it gives them a lot more freedom to get aggressive here, as you mentioned. Now another item picked up for Sylar. He's worked his way into a Demon Edge, and it hasn't really felt like a traditional gyrocopter game. There's the refresher, though. The LGD fans giving a bit of a cheer here in Key Arena. This could be the difference maker if used properly, and that is of course the big thing with the silencer.
He's also level 15 right now. That's so surprising to me that he's just like half a level away.
It's the Midas. It does so much.
But I think LGD,
they did see.
They have to know about this.
Oh, they know. The rocket's already coming out. In goes the latest stun, and immediately they're on the hunt, heading straight towards the pit. They are smoked up here, looking for the quick engagement. Sigil, flight high over the Roche pit. EG are going to get jumped immediately. Sumail caught. There's the first global, looking for the counterplay, but maybe some of the high
might not know about the refresher.
Jake keeping kept alive for now, and then the second global coming out. Sumail kept in place. Sumail almost dead, and he's going to, he gets grabbed. He's saved again by PPD. He's still trapped over as Yao goes in with the Echo, and AUI 2000 unable to do a whole lot, but they still hang on. They'll pull up the backliners, maybe. The Bloodstone, he grabs it. That was too close for comfort, but they expend a double global. They still lose 3 there. They do force the lead of buyback, but EG emerge victorious, and they will grab the Roshan now.
I think that was the game. If they managed to kill his Bloodstone or pick it up, you saw Fear commit to it.
That's a 13 Bloodstone charge as well. MMY, this is how he's got the Mana Blitz. He's walking, or he's packing mangoes. It wasn't enough there, though. The Grave came out. They have so many freaking saves.
They know the double global silence is down. They've got the Aegis advantage as well. Fear is stacked to the gills. I think this is finally going to mean the push for EG, and they don't have the black hole, but their team isn't relying on it right now. Fear's almost got the BKB up. Same with Sumail.
And they're going in hard here. A lot of the big cooldowns not available. Yao's Echo Sim also not, as the ball lady comes, jump on the Sumail, trying to bait out some abilities here. Only the Guardian Greaves pop for now. And Fear, the man in front, threatening and zoning LGD back. Fissure will stall this, a decent hold so far, but Sumail continues to blink away from the low ground and does decent damage, bringing the Tier 3 tower down. EG closing in on the opening racks here. Your Lord Rank Finals, and Shelly goes in. Hook, then a force, but they set up on the Storm Spirit. Can they chase them down? They get the Walrus Punch! See ya! There's the Laguna as well. A great call out from Sylar. Then the buyback. It's a triple kill! Maybe! Racking up Bloodstone charges, holding the line, and now under Fear. Hell drop as well! LGD pulling out the miracle hold! Oh, goodness gracious. They underestimated the gyrocopter blitz. They tank a double call down, the flat cannon, and then the Storm buyback. Just free.
I mean, he rolls into all of them with that Shiva's popped. That buyback, I thought it was a little bit questionable for a second because he was going to respawn real soon, but it easily pays off as he picks up 4 right there.
How crazy is that? They lose the fight with 2 globals, and they win the fight with 0. LGD, maybe it's better MMY doesn't have these available.
I just think that EG got a little bit too over-aggressive. Like you said, they didn't really respect the damage of the gyrocopter. I think it's almost like they over-focused on the Storm Spirit. They're like, okay, the Storm's down. Even if they take the fight here, we've got this.
Sylar working on that next item, and I guess he'll have a little more attention on himself now, as he is closing in on the potential MKB, Rapier, Daedalus. We'll see what the choice is going to be. Fear, up until this point, no evasion on him. They also have not gotten a Solar Crest, so the flexibility is there for Sumail. He'll get into this bottom lane. Can't believe there's still a Tier 1 tower up for EG at this stage of the game, especially against such an objective-focused team as LGD. But, well, it's objectives they want. It's objectives they'll get. LGD striking back, taking the tower. The Rack's exposed now mid, but they've got to be feeling a whole lot more confident after that hold.
I mean, all of these fights are so close. They're incredibly back and forth, but it did cost a buyback from the Stormster. We shouldn't forget about that. Like, the fight easily could have still gone EG's way if it wasn't for the buyback. EG are aware that that isn't up. They might just wait for the next Roshan before they go for the racks this time around. Because EG know all they have to do is win one dominant fight, and they're inside LGD's base, and they've got an incredibly fast base pushing team. LGD at the same time, they've got to feel pretty emboldened after that last fight. They didn't have either of the global silences. That fight in the Roshan pit seemed ideal for them for a second, but at the same time, it wasn't the best positioning from their heroes to work with.
Yeah, they didn't even have the Echo Slam there for that particular fight. Got used in the Rosh pit as well. And maybe it is up to 13 Bloodstone charges, so, you know, maybe the pseudo buyback that coming from the quick Bloodstone respawn could be sufficient, as he does find himself a regen room. Xiao Wei scouting and heading towards the north. He gets a rocket out onto Sumail, and they ball in onto him. They're going to try to focus him here, but they got off the grid. PPD, quick reactions. LGD looks like they may just disengage and fully retreat. Yao had already blinked forward. Now they've got to run away. Fear's going to doppelganger down to the low ground. Oh, no, he's not. He'll play it safe. Now he goes, but a bit too late. LGD will make it out. Meanwhile, ratting it up top is maybe. Gotta be careful here. Sumail's coming in with the Yules, the long ball away as they try to catch him still. They even TP'd themselves back to the tier 3 tower to attempt that, but not able to catch him in the end. So he'll slow down the lanes and he will make it out.
And EG, they can't really react to that. There's almost no chance that you kill the Storm Steward in that regard, because the Enigma doesn't have the Blink Dagger. He doesn't want to just use the Black Hole, maybe for the chance as he flies by. It's just a little bit too difficult, but LGD, I mean, they're still in a scary position because EG definitely have the offensive potential to just take down one of your racks. You lose a fight trying to defend that, and then the game just ends. So LGD, they've just got to wait for it right now and look for more ideal fights.
And this could be the item Blitz. AUI 2000, he's gone back for a Blink Dagger here. A lot more mobility, can also protect himself as well as look for the Blink Black Hole with the BKB. Only the hook shot and the globals to cancel that. Still has to be patient. There are potentially 3 opportunities here for LGD to shut it down in the team fight.
I think they know the global is still down originally from that last thing at top.
He did have refresher, but it turns out he's not opted to use it. 45 seconds.
I mean, I think he just wants to wait it out, but EG, they're just 5-manning around the map right now. They know that the potential is strong for maybe to just strike halfway across the map, instantly blow one of them up, and move on. And EG, it's incredibly hard for them to stop that with their lineup, and so they have to protect each other, sit behind each other, and just prepare for it. And this is the phase of the game where you can get away with 5-manning because most of your heroes have the items that they're going to have by the end of the late game.
What's the next item here for the Storm Blitz? Up to about 2,300 gold. Do you look for Hex, BKB?
I think
the direction for maybe
a Linken's is okay if you just want to dodge the Yule Scepter stun combo, because that is still a potential way for maybe to die. Like, he doesn't have any defensive items at all, but I think the Hex is a lot more likely. If you can initiate on Sumail before he gets the BKB off, blow him up with everything. You expend the global silence, the Echo Slam to follow, it doesn't matter. You take away the primary damage dealer from EG, and then you just play the numbers game.
As for Sumail, he's picked up a Perseverance, so potential Linken's for himself, potential refresher. We'll see what he wants to grab. As the Satanic for Sylar comes online, he didn't go for the MKB. He backed up for more durability here. He's getting a lot more difficult to burst down in these fights, even with the Laguna. Still just a bit over a third of his HP. EG are on the smoke here. They've been all over the Radiant jungle, already retreating out, however. Is the majority of LGD. MMY is the man that might get caught out here. MMY, oh, this could be bad if he is killed off, and it looks like he might be trapped by the snowball. He's got no TP. Walrus Punch to follow up, and reinforcements are arriving. Just no way out for him. Is he going to have buyback gold is the question. They're already looking to push in the top lane, and it doesn't look like he will have buyback Blitz, but fortunately that top lane is shoved very far out for LGD. EG, they don't have the creep momentum, and in fact, they're still going to get a tower, even with the death of the Silencer, down for a full minute. But it seems EG may not be able to punish this.
Yeah, maybe he's got a DD rune at the same time. EG have to be aware of that. They don't want to take a fight during that time. The Storm is already the thorn in your side, and with the DD rune, it's going to be almost impossible to stop him, and EG are just going to back up a little bit.
Okay, he's going out.
He's just trying to force an overreaction right now and force them back. Then he'll TP out, create a little bit more space for his team, them to get farm for this one big Roche fight.
It's kind of reminiscent of how he played the Ember Spirit against Cloud9, where he was just ratting a lot. Now, granted, they were very far behind in that game, but using a Blink Dagger to just get away with murder in terms of his mobility. And going back to the draft, it is a pretty good Storm game here. The catch is not the best for EG. They've got no Hex as of yet. a very long cooldown stun in Black Hole, and maybe is starting to take advantage of that with his map movements.
It's really hard to stop a Storm in this phase of the game when you have to play reactively. There's no single hero that's really going to threaten him anymore. Even if Sumail goes by himself up there, he's probably not going to find the kill. He needs probably at least 2 heroes, maybe 3, and one of them can't be PvD. So you have to expend all of those cores just to deal with the possibility of maybe you kill the Storm Spirit. There's a high likelihood that he goes for the suicide at the same time.
And then also there's the global counterplay.
Yes,
the threat that they're all behind him. It is a lot. Oh, PPD, the man caught out mid, maybe just a freebie. You just can't be off on your own against this Storm without knowing where he is.
And that's what we're talking about, because EG showed themselves at top, pushing his 4. PPD shows himself in the mid lane, and maybe he's got the farm to do it. He can pretty much just pop you from full, especially with that DD rune.
14 Bloodstone charges here for the young star. And he just confidently struts up into enemy territory. He's going to sell the bottle now up to 5k gold. And he picks up a Void Stone. So, very likely it could be that Hex.
It'll almost
send a courier out. Do they maybe get a courier snipe here, though? They do have Sumail in the neighborhood. That would be huge. But courier not heading that way just yet.
Yao actually using it for himself. As maybe says, nope, you got to get me my Hex first.
They start fighting over the courier.
They probably just
rage pause the game.
It happens, but now they've got a
Even
Hex
pros. Even pros.
EG's in a really weird situation right now, LD, because they've still got the mid lane they can push. It's an open, exposed set of racks. They've got the dire side advantage, so they can just commit buybacks over and over again to take the Roshan. LGD can't do the same, but at the same time, LGD can stay split on the map just because the threat of maybe alone is forcing EG to group up. And this means that EG actually have to start going for objectives here, because you don't want to just get out-farmed across the map. And that means the Roshan is going to be the huge fight for them.
It's still neck and neck here in terms of gold, in terms of experience down the stretch. Only a 3k gold lead for EG. It's never been more than 4. And the experience about this has to be the closest game of the main event in terms of the swings. They've been basically nothing, and no objectives fully claimed yet. Towers, yes. Roche, yes. But Rax, no. Here, getting scouted out here by Rocket, but a tough here to focus. They're going to go in now with the hook shot, immediately pushing AU at 2000 back, forcing out the Sumail BKB, after which the global #1 will come out, and Sumail unable to Laguna during this time, maybe up to the Igar, they'll kill up PPD almost. The snowball going to save him. They snowball their way after this Storm, but he stays alive for now. PPD back in for maybe. Walrus punch. Do they have the backup? There's another global at the ready, maybe. Not Laguna, and will end up suiciding. So they hold that secondary global. Xiaowen hooked down to the low ground, but he's fighting against Fear, and he can't do it alone. They're going to lose Xiaowen as well. Nobody else in position to help. We didn't get the echo in that fight. The gyrocopter not able to get the job done here for EG. They do hold a global. That's something they'll have for the high ground, and everyone should be up. But Blitz, now they give up an Aegis, and there's still a black hole ready for EG.
Sumail hasn't used the refresher orb yet. He still does have that double ultimate they can instantly use to blow somebody up. At the same time, this time around, Stormseer won't have the buyback available to him. He's just lost the majority of his Bloodstone charges. Sylar has the buyback, but he himself just can't do it against the double ultimate of the Lina.
But Sylar's got gold here. In fact, he's got a Demon Engine 4000.
I know you want to see it, but
we all want to see it. Certainly an MKB is a solid choice at this point, but it feels like he's going to buy something. Now still sitting on his gold. Guess he wants the buyback.
I think it's the option too. If you win the fight and you just immediately want to go for the throne,
yeah,
he'll have the option of going for the Divine Rapier if he wants. But it's going to be really telling. This next fight, if his team barely squeaks away with it, maybe he feels confident that he can get away with the MKB. But if they just get crushed here or they lose multiple heroes without the Storm having buyback, I think he's almost forced into that situation.
Yeah, it seems like he kind of, like you said, wants to leave his options open. And, well, a lot of it could be because he's not sure what direction Fear goes. Normally you do see a Butterfly in Phantom Lancer. Up to 6k gold, could pretty much buy it right now if he wants. But has not opted to spend that gold just yet. LGD still maintaining all their racks here. EG do pull ahead a bit after the Roche fight. But it feels like the gold swings we're seeing Blitz, for once there's no bounty hunter in the game, and they're just not gigantic gold swings. It just seems like it's going to come down to team fight execution and objectives for both teams.
I mean, all of these fights are so close. EG win the fight at Roshan. It almost looks like they're going to win the fight in mid. And then all of a sudden, maybe strolls on through, pops his ultimate, gets the triple kill, and evens everything out. Every single time EG get a fantastic fight, LGD just respond in force.
It is a heart here. Fear going ultra tank mode. Now 3,800 health. 28 armor. This guy is gigantic. Very difficult to burst him down.
Yeah, and PPD in that last fight, he was just a monster. He forced maybe to use all of his mana and get the suicide off just so that he could try to kill PPD.
And then Universe with the snowball save.
Exactly. It just takes him too long to commit. He's going to have to silence PPD, have vision of him when he's got that Glimmer Cape up, hex up Universe maybe? Otherwise, it's just so hard to burst people down. And Universe has that BKB Blink Dagger combination too, so the save potential is really high for his team.
I guess if you're LGD, maybe this is where you want to be more patient with your initiation, try to bait out the BKBs, and then you go with the second global. Because that fight, they had the second global, they just never saw an opportunity to really use it. We'll see an MKB in the end here for Sylar. Still 3,300 gold on top of this. He keeps up in terms of farm, only slightly behind the old man. And EG, with their Aegis, with their cheese, just using this time to farm up. In fact, LGD, the graph actually going a bit their direction since the rush. But still, neck and neck the teams are down the stretch. It's only game one. It looks like it could be a long one here. A lot of stress and pressure on both these teams. So maybe we'll now swing towards top. The whole LGD squad starting to 5-man more and more. And we're seeing the same from EG. They just don't want to be off on their own. These teams knowing any pick could be ever so costly.
They're pinging down this bottom lane. I think they do want to use the Roshan though. Like I said, their team is incredibly based on going for the objective, so they're going to send Sumail forward, but it's only 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and they can't really afford to fight without it, because if Sumail dies in the beginning of the fight without using any of his abilities, that'd be so disastrous. But
do you see them actually going bottom when there's already a tower gone mid, or do you think they rotate here?
I think it's just the positional advantage. You're already on that bottom side of the map. Pushing down mid might make your intentions too obvious to LGD, but if you notice, LGD, they're a little bit late to the draw. They can actually just go mid too.
MMY just sitting in the fountain now, and it's an eggs complete. A lot of damage to come from this. EG, well, they have not seen this one, Blitz. He's just hiding back near the fountain to ensure he gets the global, but now they initiate. Vision onto Sumail, no globals yet. They're trying to bait out some BKBs. They know there's an Aegis, and the counterplay comes from Sumail, but a Rocket's going to drive him back, maybe. Stun, but no follow-up. Fear. He'll chip with the illusions here. The man in front, there's actually a DD room bottom. Little to EG know. Would have really helped the siege. So LGD hang back and bide their time, waiting for the easy opening. They still have both globals ready. Very defensive posture, not even showing anybody up near the fight.
The mid lane is going to push in though.
The Aegis about to expire here, it looks like.
Yeah, they know the Aegis is about to go down right now.
EG just not finding the easy opening. LGD, maybe they just go in as soon as this is down. Sylar's going to hold the mid lane. They push that one in. Still Heroes Park bottom and nobody committing. Maybe they get a range Rex out of this. Sumail trying to draw their attention towards the bottom lane as maybe balls in. Everybody just looking to bait spells out. Nobody wants to be the team to go first, but it's Fear. Setting the illusions, getting machine gunning down the tower. Sumail just lays into it. They get a ward up on the high ground. Ping's coming out. They will deward this. But already, EG doing the structural damage here, doing it for free. Haven't fully cracked the base just yet, though. That Aegis about to wear out.
Taking a tower and a Rax here is fairly significant, but it doesn't really...
And the illusions are going to go in that range Rex mid. Looks like they will be able to grab it. There's the initiation. Hook, and now they go on to PPD. Global number 1. AUI going to cleanse it off there with the Grease. Looking for the BKB Black Hole. Is he going to find it? The Black Cannon not doing a whole hell of a lot here. And they even go down. Once they lose the Earthshaker. Now on the sidewire. EG finding their openings. Another Laguna. Destruction from Sumail and maybe able to ball away. They buy back on the gyrocopter. In that mid lane, the pressure has continued all the while. It might be another range Rex falling here. Fear will get it done. And now EG zero in on a potential double lane of Rex. The melee will drop. LGD, when does their final hold begin? Fear's going to force it out now, and the ball in comes from maybe. He's not doing any damage. They have another global here, but Sylar's not killing him. Offensive. Snowball, beta deep behind the towers as Universe engages. Fear's going to rush in with the double. Unclean man mode on Sylar. Maybe just finishing up the tusk for now. Where's the next target?
Shall we start at the same time?
Not yet. He hooks his way to safety. He hooks his way to safety. Will survive, but it gives Fear the time he needs. He works again on the Rex. EG, eyes on the prize. Objective gaming. 2 lanes of Rex. Now claimed. And it's getting desperate as they go back in with maybe, but the counter could be here. The hook shot did not connect. Call down coming through. Sumail holding on it now. The Black Hole. Again with the Laguna. Sumail just crushing his way through these LGD boards, and it's more from Fear. Maybe finally getting off the kill, but there's going to be a long death timer. They need to make something more happen. They silence, pulling Fear. They'll kill him off his as well. It's a buyback on the Tusk. But EG, they've got 3 buybacks here. Every core, every hero that's dead can return to the fight. And Blitz, it seems like LGD are going to have to force something now.
I mean, AUI was just so patient the entire game with the black hole. They forget about it for half a second when they use the global silence to try to initiate at the same time. And then all of a sudden, he's right there, perfect positioning all game. LGD, they've used all their buybacks. They don't have enough Bloodstone charges on their Storm to insta-respawn. If they decide to wait and they lose one fight or one core in their base, they lose the game. They have to go for it here.
Keeping an eye on those buybacks as this crucial push mid is going to mount. There are 0 available on LGD. They're all in on this push. Now, there is no black hole, but there's also no global silences. It's basically a death push if they continue to commit down the middle lane. It's win now or lose game 1 for LGD. As long as they stick around. And they're starting to get a bit hesitant. You can see from their movements, backing off, fighting up against the seemingly endless wave of Peel Illusions, not committing for anything. And LGD will be rebuffed without even getting to the high ground. This puts them in a grave pit. Like you said, Blitz, just one bad fight, even just one slightly bad pick away from losing this game 1.
I mean, the only person that really uses buyback there on the side of EG was this Universe Tusk, but he's not essential to the base hold.
Well, and the Phantom Lancer.
Yeah, if anything, he's more just of a defensive hero. It's really Sumail. He's got 6,600 gold. He's going to have a Hex completed. Maybe he's gone away with this greedy build this entire game, but he might just be forced into getting a BKB. He's got that gem, so he still has 1 item slot, but you can't really afford, as a Stormsteward at this phase of the game, not to have a BKB once Sumail has that Hex. He'll instantly punish you every single time, and EG, their entire team is stacked up.
Look at this, Blitz. A Bloodstone Enigma. AUI is just, he's Scrooge McDuck right now, bathing in gold coins.
It is a good item that he can go for. It could potentially save Fear if he just decides to use a Suicide, because AUI has the buyback readily available for himself. If you win a few fights, you build up some Bloodstone charges, you secure not having to use buyback in the late game. Just a decent choice all around. It's better than relying on the Aghanims to all in on that black hole, but EG, all they have to do right now is siege that top tower, and if they happen to catch any of the cores, the game is just over.
Well, Roche is coming soon. In fact, it's in 2 minutes as the rocket flies out. It will scout Fear, who's marching down the middle lane, but it doesn't see the rest of the heroes. LGD are kind of setting up here on the high ground. They're in a decent position, but they allow EG. They allow EG to breach, and now they go in. The hook to counter, the hook. Beautiful catch by Xiaowei, holding them in position. Sumail throwing himself up in the air, trying to survive. Now the ball in for Maybe. He's found the opening. Where's that black hole? Still holding it. Let it go! But it's canceled immediately. There's the global. AUI's going to follow Sylar, and it's going to drop next. Maybe could additionally join him as Yao does what he can against Sumail. It's not quite enough. Now they use him again. Where's that stun? They get it, and he's down 9 finished. He's out. He's out for 63 seconds with no gyro barrage.